Get ready with me while I share the story of my career path. At first I thought I wanted to do broadcast journalism, but then I realized the news is too depressing and I wanted to write about things that I loved, like fashion and lifestyle. So I was like, I want to write for magazines. I found an internship through my college's job board for comm students. Instead of just a broad editorial intern, it was the assistant to the style and bridal editor at Seattle Met magazine. I did that internship. I loved it. Loved helping out with the styled photo shoots too. I was so excited because there was a possibility of an assistant editor role opening. Like, I had kind of been promised it. They were like, it's coming, like this role is coming. And so I was banking on that. This was like spring quarter. So it's like crucial time when everyone's like getting their internships, like figuring out their job. And my manager is like, so actually there's not budget for an assistant editor role. I was crushed. So I was freaking out. At the same time, I ended up taking a strategic communications course, probably one of the only classes in college that actually gave me real life skills. In that class, we had to choose a nonprofit and create a PR plan for them. So that included like writing a press release. I ended up having a pretty strong portfolio coming out of that class. So I had a little bit of an introduction to PR, but not a lot. Once my dreams of assistant editor were crushed, I was like, okay, shoot, well, I guess I better consider PR. And I also had a lot of encouragement from my professor of that class. She was like, I know you want to go into journalism, but like, I really think you should consider PR. So she had her way. I set my sights on Edelman because I knew that was like the best of the best as far as agencies went, and like big name agencies and big clients. My professor, she didn't have any like connections to Edelman. She did have a few connections to alumni who worked for other smaller agencies in Seattle, but she didn't have any students directly working at Edelman. So I just took to LinkedIn and blind messaged people. One thing led to another. I got introduced to other people, and then I got an internship. Granted, I didn't get the first internship that I applied to. I got denied. So I had to wait another couple of months for consumer PR internship to open, and that's when I got the job. PR was a great learning experience. I didn't love it. I really wanted to be doing more writing, and the only writing that I was doing was writing of pitches. And over time, I got really sad that I wasn't on the other side. I wasn't feeling super inspired by my job, and I was good at it. I got some really great placements for my clients. At the same time, Edelman, which is traditionally known as a PR agency, they were like going all in on trying to broaden their scope of capabilities. So they were like doing all these all hands meetings talking about what they called communications marketing. And I was like, communications marketing, what's that about? And then they were talking about expanding their creative capabilities. And that's when I learned about copywriting. I had like a little bit of knowledge about copywriting because I'd heard of product copywriters, and I actually did like apply to a product copywriter role at Nordstrom, but I didn't get the job. I learned about creative copywriting and how Edelman was trying to get into that space. So that piqued my interest, and it felt like a really great combination of like the skills that I had learned in PR, more in the marketing space, and the creative editorial writing that I had done for Seattle Met and some of the freelance work that I had done for Martha Stewart weddings and apartment therapy weddings. So I just became a little squeaky wheel. I got coffee with like everyone that they hired and just asked about their career path and asked about copywriting. The more that I learned, the more excited I was about it. I just got on their radar and I was like, hey, I heard about copywriting and I'd love to learn more about it. And it sounds like something that I might be really good at because I have this experience in journalism and creative writing. This was not a fast process. It took me like 2 whole years to actually transition over to the creative team, and it was not without a fight. I ran into so many roadblocks trying to get out of PR and to switch to the creative team. A lot of it was outside of my control and even outside of like my management's control, because there had to be enough of a business need to constitute creating a new role and for me to like transition over. And I was really stacked with clients on the PR side. So what ended up happening was I kept just asking to become a copywriter and asking for opportunities. And I did help out with little projects here and there whenever there was a need for me. But then the account that I was working on, it was a thrift store account. They're called Valley Village, or you might know them as Savers. I started creating social content for them and like website content for them because of the campaigns we were working on. So I was in a little bit of a hybrid role where I was like 50% PR and then 50% creative. It wasn't until my mentor, her name was Rachel, came to me during one of our mentor meetings, and she was like, hey, I was trying to bring these projects to you, but your manager said that you didn't have time. And I was like, what? I hadn't heard a word from my manager about like anything Rachel was bringing to him. I was like, this is unfair. This is bullshit. I have expressed so many times that I want to become a copywriter, and here my mentor is bringing opportunities for me to work on copywriting for clients, like paying clients in our office, and my manager has the audacity to say no on my behalf without even consulting me. Like, I had to go to HR and I was like, hey, you guys say that like horizontal movements are possible, and I have been asking for this career change for years now, and there is an opportunity for me to start doing more of that work, and that opportunity is being taken from me. So I basically had to threaten to leave, and then it worked. And I became a copywriter, and I absolutely loved it. So that is my lesson: to never give up. You honestly really have to be consistent if you want to switch careers, at least internally. If you're trying to go from PR to copywriting outside of moving within your agency, I would definitely work on creating a portfolio of writing. Do spec work if you can, even like help out friends' businesses or help out nonprofits with any copywriting needs they might have. Just continue building out your portfolio that way. But there are a lot of transferable skills. Like, it's really all about telling a story, and you know how to do that as a PR professional. It's just the method of delivery is a little different. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any other questions.